This is the What's the Word gaming news and discussion video. Obviously, we talk news and share our thoughts. I say we because this is not just me blabbing about, I'd like to hear your thoughts too. So I invite you to have a discussion. So what's the word for today? DICE has released a patch for the Xbox One today. It fixes 14 issues, 6 of these crash problems, and decreases another problem, which is the corrupt save file in a single player campaign. And apparently the PS4 versions are still crashing because DICE has asked players to fill out crash reports when they get the error identification CE348780. This is actually a general error PS4 crash identification that's not specific to Battlefield 4, and there may be multiple reasons why it's happening. So I find it amusing that the next generation of video games includes filling out crash reports. I remember when I bought the PlayStation 4 version, and I eventually traded that in for Need for Speed Rivals since it was unbearable at the time. I remember it would crash, and I would fill out the crash reports because I figured, well, it's there. I guess I'll make my contribution to the next gen, the beginning of the next gen, by filling out these crash reports. I only did it 3 times. I'm sure many of you could testify to the nuisance that it would be to fill out those crash reports. When I got it the first time, I was just like, what is this? This is a PC. I'm not playing on the PlayStation 4. Consoles don't do this. But I guess it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that you can fill out a crash report. It's direct response from you guys. I just think they should have released the game in beta on the consoles first before saying, yep, this is done. Here it is. Crash reports and all. So it would make more sense if it was in beta, and if you wished, you could fill out the crash reports. Obviously, you don't have to fill out the crash reports even now, but still, this is so broken, this is so bad, that it might as well still be beta. I know a lot of people feel that same way, but it's true. We're filling out crash reports, for goodness sakes. Like, I feel like this is something you would do in a beta. And I know on PC, that happens with all sorts of programs. I know when my Adobe Premiere Pro editing program crashes, sometimes I have the opportunity to fill out a crash report. But it doesn't crash often, and when it does, it's because in my stupidity, I work my computer too hard, and it can't handle everything that it's doing. So I know why. So I usually don't fill out the crash reports anyway. But this is absolutely ridiculous. It helps, but it's ridiculous. So since the new Xbox One patch has been installed, I ran a test myself. I played in 3 conquest matches. The very first, I decided to do a quick match because I was running out of time because I needed to record this. And most of the time, if I did do a quick match, it wouldn't register sometimes. So I went to quick match, chose conquest, and the first time it worked. So that was pleasing. I decided to stay for 2 more matches, and those worked. I never crashed out, never had any problems. In fact, the only noticeable problem was on Paracel Storm, and the very, very beginning of the match had that sound glitch. So granted, I only played 3 matches. I'd love to hear how you guys are dealing with it, seeing if there's any issues or anything. So let me know how that is going. I also think they should give us an extra double XP weekend or something, because I still lost a lot of time searching for matches during that time. And I feel like if DICE really wanted to show their appreciation, they would give us double XP after all the issues are fixed. That way, we can enjoy the game in its full and get all the experience that we missed out on. Granted, I did get a ton of experience and I ranked up quite a bit, but I could spend 15 minutes looking for a match, especially if I was searching for conquest. And that eats up time. If the whole point of double XP was to redeem the points that we lost, then redeem the points when the game is fully fixed. I'd like to see that happen. Not just for premium players, for all players. So, on to the next subject. Oculus VR is gaining money. Once again, the Oculus VR company announced that they have locked down $75 million in Series B funding. If you don't know what Series B is, that's economic language, basically meaning second stage or second tier funding. So they were Series A funding, which was the first stage. Now they're in Series B, which is the second. And in that stage, they have locked down $75 million. The largest funder is the venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There are also 3 others who help fund that Series B also. And Mark Andreessen is also becoming one of Oculus VR's board of directors. This funding creates an approximate total of $93.4 million. So that's 2.4 from their initial Kickstarter, 16 million from their Series A funding, and now 75 million from the Series B. What you are witnessing is a company garnering investors and how they will help mold the Oculus VR. In a quote by Mark Andreessen, he says, quote, "We believe Oculus will not only alter the gaming landscape, but will redefine fundamental human experiences in areas like film, education, architecture, and design," end quote. Now, I'm sure the original Oculus VR team wanted to expand the Rift beyond just games from the beginning, but just know that even if they didn't, it's not just about games anymore. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but the Oculus Rift will be serving more than one master. And that's just kind of the nature once you start getting people who start investing money into a project like this. They also want to see their ideas come through, and they want to see... I don't want to say, vision's a strong word, but I think ideas is the appropriate word, because at the end of the day, the Oculus VR team has the vision. They're the ones who pitched it to these investors, and the investors catch it. But they also have their ideas also. And I think part of that is the reason why it's just not a piece of gaming tech anymore. And to be fair to them and the investors, I don't quite remember if the original Kickstarter was strictly for games. I don't think it was. I have to look back at it. I didn't have time to look at it before. Someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it was mostly games oriented. And now we see it's going to be used for other things, and we've seen that as they've done tests and experimented with it. But this is the direction it's going. This is what happens when investors get involved, and who knows how this is really going to work out, because at the end of the day they could have a gaming model, a film model, a architectural model to suit specific needs. I don't know if they'll have enough money to do that, but they could create different versions of the Rift that would benefit different people and different groups. So we'll see how it works out. But $93 million is, and you know, that's approximate, but that's quite a lot of money to work with. And in another Kickstarter-led campaign, Beck, the hero of Mighty No. 9, is going to be part of Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z DLC as a costume. As of this point, it's only in Japan though, so we don't know if that DLC is coming to the States. I like this idea. Beck is, again, the hero of Mighty No. 9. Mighty No. 9 is the game created by Keiji Inafune. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but hopefully that is somewhere in the ballpark. But he is the creator of Mega Man, and this is that quote-unquote Mega Man Kickstarter. And it's good he's getting it out into a game. I like this idea because now it's going to give it more exposure, and if it comes out into the States, that gives it even more exposure, especially for people who don't really follow games and don't know about the things that are happening in Kickstarter. I question the game itself. I don't imagine Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z is one of those sellers, even in Japan. I don't know. I'd have to look at the sales for Ninja Gaiden out in Japan, but I don't know if this game is going to be one of those that really promote it, but it might be the only one they were able to stick something in. At the end of the day, I think it's good. I wish the game was better, but you work with what you got. I just hope that money that was spent to do that helps. Between now and sometime next week, Turn 10 is launching a Forza 5 patch that will reduce in-game car prices by 45% and will also nearly double earnings after races. Turn 10 gives the example of the Ferrari 250 GTO, which used to cost $6 million but will now cost $2 million. The patch also includes 2 game modes, drag racing and tag. Drag allows 16 players in a lobby with 8 players on each strip racing 1v1. And tag comes with 3 variants called Keep the It, Tag Virus, and Pass the It. Someone needs to help Turn 10 with these names. I know it's hard to come up with names. My videos are a testament to that. I do not come up with good names in any form or fashion. I'm just not good with names. But I also don't have the money to hire someone to help me come up with good names. I am the only one on my team right now. And so I just don't have that kind of flexibility. Turn 10, on the other hand, has money. And they have the ability to contact someone and say, hey, come up with names for our stuff. I don't know if it's an inside joke. I don't know if it's a Forza joke. But really? Tag the it? Keep the it? Pass the it. What is the it? Keep the it. What is that? So we got drive a tar, keep the it, and pass the it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But I am a little more intrigued to get Forza 5 now. Just a little bit. I like the idea of earning more money or credits for racing. I still don't know how that's going to translate when it comes to buying the cars. I know 6 million to 2 million is quite a reduction, but I don't know how much it costs to get some of the earlier cars or how much of a gap it is between each car. Is it one car is 200,000 and the next one's 800,000, you know? It's kind of all relative in the end. So I'm not sure mathematically how they work this out, because at the end of the day, it's kind of still feeling like a grind, because you don't earn cars after you reach a certain rank or finish races or anything like that. You have to buy them all. So if it's still a grindy feel, that doesn't turn me on either. And lastly, the Pokemon Company will launch the Pokemon Bank December 27th on the 3DS eShop. The bank allows you to store up to 3,000 Pokemon in cloud storage, and the app will allow you to transfer all Pokemon from Black and White and Black and White 2. So if you have Pokemon from the DS versions, you'll be able to have them all in X and Y through this app. And if you download the app between December 27th and January 31st, you'll get a 1-month free trial. And the app is a yearly subscription of $5. So I've played pretty much all the Pokemon games except for Black and White 2 and X and Y. I want to play X and Y. I'm not too hip to Black and White 2. I want to play it just to say I played it, but I'm not really concerned about beating it. But X and Y is one I want to play and beat. I like the idea of this. I don't like that you have to pay $5 a year. I know that's not a lot. $5 a year isn't a lot, but when you're someone like me who has to pay bills and has all these other yearly subscriptions already, like Xbox Live and PlayStation Network and Adobe Creative Cloud and other things, it starts to chip away at your budget a little bit. So I don't know about tacking on another $5 for an amount of Pokemon that I will never use. It'd be beneficial for them to release something where at least you could have maybe 200 more slots. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with a completely free app where it's 200 slots instead of 3,000. Like I'd be totally fine with that. That'd be cool. In case I ever wanted to get into competitive Pokemon just for a little bit, you have duplicates usually and ones with different natures and things like that. So you have a wide variety of Pokemon to battle with. And I feel like paying $5 even for a year is just kind of unnecessary. But I did figure out one thing. If you get the 30-day free trial, I figure if you're like me and just want to put all your Pokemon in one spot, you could probably just get the 30-day free trial, transfer all your Pokemon over, and then cancel it. Because as far as this is reading, that's the only way you'll be able to transfer all your Pokemon over. You won't be able to link it or anything else like that. So there's not going to be an online trade, whatever, I guess. I guess this is the fastest and most convenient way to do it. I guess you could trade them all, but that would be a nuisance. That'd be so annoying. Can you imagine? I'm just going to trade you 300 EVs for all your Pokemon so you can get them over into your game. That's just complete nonsense. But I figure that would be the best way to go. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and listening. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this news. Thanks for watching. See you later.